Will SpaceX create anti-gravity in space? Hey guys, welcome back to our channel Technology Talk. Are you excited to know how SpaceX created anti-gravity? Let's dive into the video without further delay. Despite the numerous difficulties we face in the worldwide community, today it is still an exciting moment to be alive. For the first time in almost 50 years, planners and engineers are working on concepts to quickly guide astronauts on their trips through low Earth orbit (LEO). Not only are we returning to the Moon, but we're also peering outwards at Mars and other exotic locations in the solar system. This poses certain difficulties, such as the effects of significant public relations efforts on radiation and microgravity. While there are various options for radiation defense devices, gravity still stands in the way. To address this, YouTuber Small Stars proposed the Gravity Link Starship, GLS, a modified version of SpaceX's Starship that provides its own synthetic gravity. The concept has been around for more than a century, with Konstantin Tsiolkovsky (1857 to 1935), one of the founding fathers of rocket technology and aviation, providing the earliest documented instance. The O'Neill cylinder, the Braun wheel, and the Stanford Torus are all variations of this design, suggested for stations and habitats in the region since then. NASA's Nautilus X Area Station, which may employ a rotating torus to create synthetic gravity, and the Gateway Foundation's Commercial Area Station proposal are also being studied for development. The tiny stars came up with the notion of the GLS after doing some research on centrifugal pressure. As he describes in his video above, the GLS is primarily a delivery hub, i.e., a wheel hub, in which the cargo bay is supplied with a beam that is stretched and fitted in a robot-controlled manner and so serves, since the spokes of the wheel. It may be positioned among the spacecraft carrying people and connected to them for the duration of the 6-month journey to Mars. The U.S. Army factors, according to the whistleblowers, control a secret area fleet that employs anti-gravity technology and is capable of interplanetary trips to Mars in the past. The Boeing Corporation's unexplained attempt to release the anti-gravity generators during the Clinton administration failed. For national security considerations, it appears that the world's largest aviation employer has shied away from bringing the following propulsion technology to the aircraft firm. There is also reason to believe that the Obama admin tried unsuccessfully to deploy anti-gravity technologies under the direction of Jim Jones, its former state-level protection marketing advisor. Anti-gravity technology, which is presently being developed, may transform aviation and territorial business in the not-too-distant future. Musk's vision of a Martian colony might become a reality far sooner than he can now envision. With appreciation for the voyage to Mars, some aspects reduce this possibility. The one-way journey to Mars is projected to take 120 days, almost a third of Kelly's tenure in orbit. The gravity on Mars is 40% more bearable than on Earth. The conventional answer to the topic of synthetic gravity is to build spinning ships, similar to the old rotor carnival ride, in which centrifugal pressure moves the equipment and systems within the ship, mimicking gravity. With appreciation for the voyage to Mars, some aspects reduce this possibility. The one-way journey to Mars is projected to take 120 days, almost a third of Kelly's tenure in orbit. The gravity on Mars is 40% more bearable than on Earth. The conventional answer to the topic of synthetic gravity is to build spinning ships, similar to the old rotor carnival ride, in which centrifugal pressure moves the equipment and systems within the ship, mimicking gravity. Communication failure. In addition to these issues, a spinning spacecraft makes precise antenna alignment extremely difficult, posing further communication obstacles. The signal can always be lost and regained as the antennas rotate, because rotation puts them inside their aligning range. Power problems. Solar panels, which are huge and have a larger surface area, are intended to strengthen the spacecraft's components. Depending on the sort of spin and the direction of the panels, keeping the panels closer to the sun to absorb energy might be challenging with a rotating vehicle. Dr. Robert Zubrin, a longtime proponent of manned-Mars exploration, proposed connecting an equipment component to the amount of release utilized and spinning it about a gravity position that isn't out of the ordinary. While this option is not available to Starship, since the degree of liberty on Earth is being restored, it does consider the nature of a unique technique, which I believe SpaceX has already begun to execute correctly. This is how you can accomplish it. Firstly, each journey involves many ships. While one of the ships encountered issues in his hunt for the West Indies, having all of the other platforms and more resources to paint fine-grain problems, Rather than using an applied counterbalance, the Starship will employ a fully staffed and packed 2D spaceship as a counterweight, which will then function as a counterweight. Secondly, they tether from the tail to the head. The contemporary concept asks for a 2D tail-to-tail tanker unit to meet up with the virtually empty spacecraft and swap gasoline once it reaches orbit to refuel it. The Starship design features a rear connection collar for refueling, according to this version. The refueling system could be slow rather than pumping, implying that the fuel and thruster toggle could appear as a reliance of the entire colliding quickly clashing with the boat's alignment and starting to cause it to gasoline enters the void. Spacecraft fallen. According to popular belief, the two ships may interact with the ground using a non-rotating dual-land communication platform that is oriented. They are always in verbal exchange, rather than continually realigning the antennae, creating a counter-rotating platform, or developing one of the very complicated alternatives. I don't want to minimize the importance of this technique. It's not simple to make the Starship strong enough to paint effectively with rotary printing in all main orientations. Constructing a boot space where the floor may be the ceiling and vice versa is a significant difficulty. However, having a healthy crew ready for the heavy painting before Sun 1 on Mars is the reward. Stay tuned and subscribe for more.